Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alice and I'm bringing you a film and flow series, which is just me flowing and I'm filming it, taking you through it. So the intensity of these classes is going to vary. This one, I'm not really planning them too much, but this one I have got a little idea, and if anything gets too intense for you, or if anything is unfamiliar to you, don't do it if it doesn't feel good. You can change it. I try and give variations or options as we go. So let's get into it. If you've got a mat, great. If not, just make sure you're on a comfortable surface. You might want blocks, you might want straps. So if you have those to hand, perfect. We might not use them, but they're always handy in case. So we're actually going to start standing. This first little bit, you can do seating or sitting down on the ground if it doesn't feel good for you or if you're struggling to do it standing. So I'll talk you through the standing one, and then if you choose to sit, you can also sit. So we're just going to place the feet hip distance apart. Make sure they're parallel, so we want the outside edges of the feet parallel to each other. Small bend into the knees, so nothing too drastic, but if you have hyperextended legs like mine, you want to soften them a little bit. And then we're just going to close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And we'll take a couple of those in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with each exhalation, just feel everything sink, become a little heavier. You're going to allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears, for the back of the neck to lengthen, for the pelvis to feel a bit heavier. Find some length through the back of the lower spine, for the feet to plant and ground into the earth. And when you take your final exhalation through the mouth, just close down the mouth and allow the breath to flow in and out through the nose. Noticing the ribs and the belly expand on each inhalation, and then how the navel draws towards the spine on the exhalation. And you can keep the eyes closed for this next bit. I think sometimes it's quite helpful. I just want you to start drawing a circle with the pelvis. So everything above the body stays, above the pelvis stays still. And just starting to draw that circle with the pelvis. Notice how you might bend or extend a little bit into the knees, and how the weight shifts through the bottoms of the feet as it transfers through the heels, to the outside and inside edges of the foot, to the fronts of the foot, to the other side on the outside and inside edges of the foot. And try and keep everything nice and soft here. Try not to tense or hold on to anything. Don't overthink the movement. And then we're just going to take that in the other direction. Again, feeling those shifts of weight through the bottoms of the feet. And then finding that stillness with the pelvis, coming back to the center. We're then going to bring those circles into the ribs, into the torso. So again, there will be a shift of weight through the feet. And the arms might move a little bit here. That's fine. Just imagining the ribs or even the heart center circling around the top of the pelvis. And then taking those circles in the other direction. Just notice if you've started to grip into the jaw, into the neck, and see if you can use an exhalation to release whilst you create these circles. And then finding that stillness. This time just lengthen through the body and drop the chin towards the chest and start to take the head in a circle in one direction. And these circles can gradually become bigger as you notice the top of the spine or the shoulders starting to come into this movement. And try and keep it as smooth and as fluid as possible. If you notice it's becoming a bit jarred or a bit staccato, I think that's the word, just make those circles a little bit smaller so you can find that smoothness again. And then taking it in the other direction. Starting small if you need, and then gradually increasing the size of the circle. And then finding that stillness. And you can revisit doing the pelvis and the ribs and the head separately. If it feels good for you, you can start to bring all three together. So maybe starting with the pelvis in one direction, and then allow the ribs and the torso to join. And then maybe the head joins in as well. You can take a little bit of getting used to. Don't worry about how you look. I'm the one on camera that everybody can see. No one can see you. And then we can start to take that in the other direction. Maybe again, just starting with one, and then adding the other, and then finally adding the other. And I think it's really hard to go in the other direction. And I can't remember which way I was going to begin with. But it's just a bit of funness. It's nothing serious. It's just about softening through the body, not worrying about anything to do with how it looks, just simply to do with how it feels. And maybe see if you can just switch whenever you want to. So switching whenever I click, for example. And then finding that stillness. Just notice any sensations through the body, any tingling. If your eyes are closed, maybe anything that you're seeing, any visuals. And gently opening up the eyes. Just bringing the toes together, heels apart, stepping towards the top of your mat. We're going to inhale to reach tall. And as you exhale, melt down over the legs, just a soft bend into the knees. Feel free to give the head a shake when you come into that Uttanasana. Maybe taking a hold of the elbows, gentle swing side to side. And then releasing the hold of the elbows, inhaling to a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, stepping back to find your all fours position. And we're just going to come into our cat-cows. So inhaling as you drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale as you round the back, press the ground away. And just continue this at your own pace. Allow the breath to lead the movement. And then maybe starting to explore any other movements with the spine. So you could start to take the ribs in a circular motion, whether that be side to side or forwards and backwards. And again, just keeping that connection with the breath. Maybe keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. And switching direction if you're taking it in one direction. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to start to take those waves forwards and backwards. So maybe you've already been going forwards and backwards. We're going to round the back here, chin to chest, and then send the shoulders over the fingertips. Drop the belly down, find the arch as you start to shift the weight back towards the knees, and the pelvis drops towards the heels. And then just as you touch the heels, rounding the back as you shift forwards. Drop the belly down, shoulders are over the wrists, send the pelvis back. Rounding the back, coming forwards, dropping the belly down, sending the pelvis back. And again, if yours looks a little different to mine, or if this feels a little strange, that's perfectly normal. For some people, this movement will be very unfamiliar. For others, it will come naturally. Just allow the breath to guide you as well. If you find you're getting stuck in your head, overthinking it, just focus on breathing and maybe just come back to cat-cows. You can play around with the pace of the flow here. Maybe going a little slower, maybe going a little faster. We'll take a couple more. The next time the shoulders are over the fingertips, tucking the toes, send the pelvis up into a downward facing dog. And just simply pedal through the feet. Find that comfortable down dog position, stretching through the backs of the legs. Drishti towards the belly button. And let's inhale high onto the toes. Exhale, send the heels down towards the ground. Inhaling toes. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, toes. Exhale, heels down. So we're going to come back to these waves. Inhale, high to the toes. And as you exhale, ripple forwards, find your high plank. Just as the shoulders cross over the fingertips, bend the knees, drop the belly down, and then send the pelvis back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, high to toes. Exhaling as you ripple forwards. Inhale as you drop the knees. Drop the belly, send the pelvis up. Inhaling toes. Exhale forwards. Inhale, ripple back. Allow the head to be an extension of the spine here as well. So you might notice your gaze starts to travel the length of the mat and then maybe even forwards to the front of the room. And taking one more. And meeting in our downward facing dog. Let's inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Coming into our lizard, we're going to keep that back leg extended and find a gentle lift of the chest. If it's helpful, you can bring the hands onto blocks here. Let's inhale. And as you exhale, start to round the back. See if you can tuck that tailbone in. Chin to chest. Inhale as you arch, the pelvis might drop a little bit. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhaling to arch. Exhale, round. Inhaling, lift the chest, lower the back knee down. And then we're going to press back into a half split. The chest stays lifted. Inhale. Exhale, round the back. Inhale to arch. So we're taking cat-cows in this half split position. Exhale as you round. I like to keep the front foot flexed. Inhale as you arch. Exhale to round. Inhale as you arch, shift the weight forwards back into the knee. Exhale, rounding the back as you shift back to the half split. So we're sort of incorporating everything that we've done so far. The back knee can stay down. And we're just flowing forwards and backwards, finding the ripple through the spine as you come through your lizard into your half splits and back into your lizard again. Taking your final one. The next time you're into your lizard, tucking the back toes and step the left foot to the outside edge of the left hand, finding your malasana. Toes turned out slightly. If it's comfortable, bringing the elbows to the inside edges of the knees, hands into heart center. lengthening through the spine. Drishti can come down the nose or you can close down the eyes. When you're ready, planting the hands down, stepping or jumping back into a high plank. Or inhale at the top, and then as you exhale, lowering through your knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, lower the pelvis down to the ground, and then lower the belly down to the ground. We're going to come into some little ripples here. I'll just move my mic. And we're going to come onto the fingertips just outside of the mat. Forehead drops down to the ground. As you inhale, start to press the ground away, ripple through the spine. Exhale as you soften down. Shoulders fall away from the ears. Inhaling on the way up. You don't have to extend the arms fully. Exhaling on the way down. You'll notice the pubic bone should be dropping heavy towards the ground. The fronts of the legs are heavy into the ground. Tops of the feet pressing into the ground. Just take this at your own pace. It'll take a few more. Final one. And then the next time the belly is down, plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Take an inhale into your baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Just adjust the stance if you need, and then we're going to come back into those ripples. Let's inhale high to toes. Exhale, send the heels down to begin with. Inhale high to toes. Exhale, heels down. Inhale high to toes. Exhale, heels down. This time, inhale high to toes. Ripple forwards to that plank. Lowering the knees, arching the back as you send the pelvis back up, downward facing dog. And just taking it at your own pace. Inhaling toes, exhale, ripple forwards. Inhale, lower the knees, arch the back. Taking a final one here. The next time you come into your downward facing dog, let's inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside edge of the left hand, coming into that lizard. Bring the hands to blocks if you need, back leg stays extended, gentle lift of the chest. Let's inhale. As you exhale, round the back, see if you can tuck that tailbone down. Inhale as you arch. Exhale to round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, and then lower that back knee down, pressing back into that half splits. Keeping that length through the spine. If you need to come onto fingertips or blocks, please do. And then keeping that left foot flexed. We find that inhale as we lengthen. Exhale to round, chin to chest. Inhale as you arch. Exhale, round. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, round. You can probably hear our storm. Inhale to arch. Exhale, round. And then we're starting to take those ripples as we come forwards back to lizard. And then shifting the weight back to half splits. Combining everything that we've done. Spinal waves. As you take those transitions of weight. The next time you come back into your lizard, tuck the back toes and then step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Back to your malasana. Taking a few breaths here, just reconnecting with the body. And then planting the hands down. Step, jump or float back to your high plank, inhaling at the top. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. Looking between the hands, slowly make your way towards the top of the mat. So you can walk, step, jump or float. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling to soften down. We'll take that a couple of times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, soften down. 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, soften. And then take a deeper bend into the knees as you slowly roll through the spine. Head and arms are heavy. And as you come to standing, inhale, reach the arms tall. Exhale, hands into heart center. And then just releasing the arms at the sides of the body. Maybe close down the eyes. Lengthen through the spine. And then we'll start our little flow. So coming to the top of the mat, let's inhale to reach tall. Exhale, diving down over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips or shins. Exhale as you step, jump or float. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. Let's inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Keep the back leg extended, coming up into a high lunge. Let's take an inhale. Exhale as you cactus the arms, open the chest. Keep that back knee extended. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale to cactus. This time arms melt down to the side of the body as you send the torso over the front leg, reach the fingertips forwards. From here, you're going to shift the weight into that right foot. You're going to come up into your warrior 3, hands into heart center. Flexing that back foot, imagine you're pressing the wall away behind you. And then see if you can maintain that balance as you bring the left knee in towards the chest, right fingertips reach towards the sky. What else? Stork pose here. And then crossing that left ankle over the right knee, sink the pelvis down into your figure 4. Hands can come back into the heart center. If it's accessible for you, you're going to take your peace grip. So that's your left 2 fingers around the left big toe. If you need to use a strap here or keep the leg bent, you can do. So you can take a hold of the knee. Right hand comes to the right hip. And then start to bring that left knee in towards the chest. And then extending the leg out in front of you. Keep drawing the little toes back towards you. Keep the chest lifted. And then carry that leg out towards the side. If your leg is bent, you're just here and then here. You're then going to release the leg or the toe and carry that left leg back behind you, finding a warrior 2 stance. So just adjust your feet as you need. Outside edge of the back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Palms facing down, drift you down the right middle finger. And then sinking the pelvis a bit lower as you soften into the right knee. Shoulders fall away from the ears. Let's inhale to reverse. And then coming back to your warrior 2. Taking one more inhale to reverse, extend the right leg. Find that length from the right foot to the right fingertips. And then windmill the arms down, square off the hips. Left hand is coming to the inside edge of the front foot. We're coming past our Vashisthasana, our side plank. The right foot is landing behind us and we inhale to send the pelvis up into your wild thing. If that's not accessible, stay with your side plank, your Vashisthasana. And then circling that right arm down. Find your tiger curl, right knee in towards the chest, 3-legged plank. And then extend that right leg across towards the left, coming into your fallen triangle. The left fingertips towards the sky and then take them over the head. Keep that left hip lifting high. And then bringing that left hand down, right knee back in towards the chest. Step it to the outside edge of the right foot. Inhale into that lizard that we found at the beginning. Exhale as you lengthen, also extend that front leg. So we're keeping the pelvis high this time, flexing that right foot. I like to keep a lift of the chest here. Again, blocks under hands if you need. And then softening back into the knee. We're going to inhale, right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And then lower downward facing dog. Inhale, high to toes. Ripple forwards, find your plank. This time lowering the knees down, coming to all fours. We're going to take, which leg are we going to do? Let's take the right leg out behind us. Flex the foot, reach the left fingertips forwards. Maybe staying here. If it's accessible, bend that back leg, circle the arm to reach for the foot or the ankle, and then start to press the foot into the hand as you find a little opening through the heart. Keep the right hand spread wide, the fingertips spread wide. It's going to help with the balance. Slowly releasing, find that length before you lower. And then lowering hand and knee, tucking the toes. Send the pelvis up, downward facing dog. Look between the hands, step, jump or float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take the second side. Let's inhale to reach tall. Exhale, dive down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips or shins. Exhale as you step, jump or float, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhaling up, dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, left leg high this time. Exhale, knee in towards the chest. Place the foot between the hands. Keep the back knee extended, coming up to a high lunge. Taking an inhale here. As you exhale, cactus, open the chest, keep the back leg extended. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, cactus. This time the arms drop down to the sides of the body. Send the torso over the leg and reach the fingertips forwards into your arrow lunge. From here, we're getting ready to shift the weight forwards into that front leg, ready for your warrior three. Hands to heart center. Whoop. Try and keep the balance. Back foot is flexed. Imagine you're pressing the wall away behind you. And then gently bringing that right knee in towards the chest, fingertips reach tall. And crossing the right ankle over the left knee, coming into your figure four as you sink the pelvis down, hands back into the heart. And then getting ready here to either take a hold of the knee, the foot, or your peace grip. First two fingers of the right hand around the big toe of the right foot. Left hand to left hip. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Start to extend that right leg. Maybe carrying the leg out towards the side. And then from here, trying to keep that right leg lifted. You're going to carry it all the way behind you and find your warrior two. Softening into that left knee. Let's inhale to reverse. Slowly coming back. Inhale, let's reverse again. Extend that left leg. Find the length from the left toes to the left fingertips. And then windmill the arms. Right hand comes to the inside edge of the front foot. We're passing through that side plank, Vashisthasana. Left foot steps behind us. Inhale to send the pelvis high, wild thing. Again, just go to wherever is comfortable. If you need to stay with Vashisthasana, your side plank, please do. And the left hand is coming down to the ground, left knee in towards the chest, tiger curl. And then send that left leg across towards the right. Right fingertips reach up towards the sky, fallen triangle. And then the right fingertips can reach across the head. Right hand comes down to the ground, left knee back in towards the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside edge of the left hand, back into that lizard lunge. Inhale to lift the chest, and as you exhale, extend the front leg, coming into this version of pyramid, flexing that front foot if that's comfortable for you. And then softening forwards, step back into your downward facing dog. Let's inhale high to toes and then ripple forwards, lowering the knees down into your all fours. This time sending the left leg out behind you. Right fingertips reach forwards, find the length. Maybe staying here, maybe bending the back leg, circling the arm to reach for the foot or the ankle, and then pressing the foot into the hand as you lift the chest. Keeping the fingers spread wide on that supporting hand. Slowly releasing, find the length before you lower. Bring the hand and the knee down. Inhale, let's find an arch through the back. Exhale as you round. One more inhale to arch. As you exhale, coming into a child's pose, any variation of child's pose. If you want a bit more rounding through the spine, you can bring the legs together. Allow the forehead to come down to the floor or a block, and then place the hands at the side of the body. If you want to stay with your child's pose for a little bit longer, you can do. Otherwise, coming onto your knees, we're going to take our camel pose, or Ustrasana. So lots of variations here. And only do this if you're familiar with it and you're comfortable with it. Otherwise, our first variation is making sure you've got the knees underneath the hips. There's a little bit of space between the knees. We're going to bring the hands to the lower back. Try and get the fingertips pointing upwards. Elbows draw together. Let's take an inhale. And start to gently lift the chest, lift the eye line. And you may just stay here. That might be enough for you. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears. You might decide you want to lean back. And if you can, reaching for the heels or the ankles. And then starting to find a deeper stretch through the front of the body. Maybe the head drops back and you open through the throat. This is a full expression of the posture. If it's too much, just go to wherever works for you. Please don't push yourself to past any comfortable point. And in your own time, you can slowly release from the posture. And bringing yourself back to a seat, maybe coming back into that child's pose if that feels good for your spine. I sometimes prefer just to stay upright. And then we're going to come onto our backs. So bringing the legs forwards. Just shuffle yourself down your mat if you're at the back of the mat. plant the feet into the floor and coming onto your back. Just send the feet a little wider to the outside edges of the mat and allow the knees to drop in. And taking a couple breaths here. And then when you're ready, bringing the feet in line with the hips again, planting the feet down, knees are up towards the sky. Let's plant the palms of the hands down at the sides of the body. We'll take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to peel through the spine into your bridge pose. You can stay with your bridge here, so it stays active. If you want to take a block and place it underneath the sacrum, you can come into your passive supported bridge. If you'd like to come into wheel, lower the pelvis down. Place the hands at the sides of the ears, close to the shoulders. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to peel through the spine, press the ground away. Lift that pelvis up. Try not to hold the breath in any of these postures. Coming down at any point, lowering with control if you came into your wheel. Maybe hugging the knees in towards the chest whenever you're ready. You can take a gentle rock side to side, find that massage along the lower back. Maybe take the knees round in a circle. And take those circles in the other direction. And maybe send the legs up towards the sky. Find a bit of space between the legs. You can flex and point the feet. Maybe take them around in circles. Maybe bend and straighten the legs. And then the next time they're extended, feel free to give them a little bit of a shake. Let the ankles be relaxed. Feel the muscles and the flesh on the bones. Just move around. And then gently lowering the legs down into your Shavasana, your posture of rest. Just allow the body to sink deep into the ground. And you're welcome to stay for longer if you need to, or if you'd like to. Otherwise, just starting to bring that movement back into the body, toes, fingers. Maybe extending the arms above the head, extending through the ankles, through the toes, through the fingers. And rolling onto one side and bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands to the lap of the knees, keeping the eyes closed or downcast. And then bringing the hands into the heart center, bowing the third eye towards the fingertips. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a little bit different, maybe a little more intense in some ways. If you know me well enough, or if you don't know by now, you'll know that I love working with the spine, the flexibility of the spine, the mobility of the spine, and it's something that I want to start bringing into more of my shared practice. So in my own practice, it is something that I do a lot, but it's not necessarily something that I teach much of. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm hoping to bring it in a little bit more. If you've got any questions, feedback, let me know how you got on in the comments below. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, wherever, whenever you're doing this. And thank you.